Welcome to Directly to You. It's our podcast. We're Redirect. I'm AJ of Redirect. I'm joined by Parker, also of Redirect.
Hello.
We do this show every single week, dude. Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, if you didn't know. And you can support us, this show, and Redirect by going to youtube.com/watch redirect or twitch.tv/watch redirect. And if you're on Twitch specifically, you have Amazon Prime, you can link those two things together and give us Jeff Bezos money. What? Jeff Bezos money. You can give us his $4.99 instead, and you get all the same perks. And what are those perks? Those perks are free emotes, free Switch keys from time to time, loyalty badges, and you get access to our supporters only Discord where we record this show right now. And you could be part of the peanut gallery and talk about stuff. And, you know, if you're a Patreon supporter at the highest tier specifically, you can chime in and say what you want whenever you want to say it, like Trav. But people are terrified for some reason to use that power. You can be the first one that is not, as long as you're not cursed. You could also get all the other stuff on all the other tiers. You don't got to give us that much money. You don't really have to give us any money, and you can join our Discord for the free. It's linked in the description. And if you're watching on YouTube, you should check us out on podcast services, all the podcast services. You can find them on anchor.fm/DTY. And if you're on those podcast services, you can find us on YouTube, on youtube.com/directly to you. If you click the like buttons and rate and do all that stuff on whatever, all of the services that you use, it helps out a lot. And we would appreciate it.
It's true.
We're doing a thing today.
Yeah, we are.
We're ranking the Nintendo Switch games, the first party ones.
Yes, this is true. All right, I'm going to share my screen so we can do it. Also, I realized if you gave us Jeff's Bezos money, that would be his kiss money, because Bezos is kiss in Spanish. So, like, you should give us Jeff's kiss money. That's all. That's not even continuing on. All right, here we go. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Lovely. So yeah, there's barely any news this week. So we'll see how this goes. So we decided to do, maybe I should make this a little smaller. Oh, no, that's the wrong screen. So we decided to do a tier list of, like AJ said, all of the best first party games. I just grabbed this tier list. This one seemed like the best one. I didn't tweak it at all because I don't know if you can. So we're just going to go through it as is. And some of these we may have caveats for or anything, but
it's true. I feel like we should get the S games out of the way because they're easy.
That's so true. Because there's look how many there are. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Breath of the Wild, S, free.
S. Yep. Mario Odyssey.
Mario. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I feel it. Smash. Yeah. Clearly.
I will agree with that.
And Mario Kart. Those are the easy S's.
I agree. We can. How do we do this? We order them at the end. We just put them in their right tiers at first.
I don't know how you order them.
Okay, cool.
S specifically, I don't know how you order that because it's like they're all so very different video games, and it's at that point it's just like preference, So I don't know how we order it because we'll be fighting all day about Smash versus Breath of the Wild.
It's true.
So there's that.
I agree with that. Yeah, they share the crown, as it were, or at least here I'll do that. So that's both of ours.
Yeah, like as far as
be nice. I'm tied. Okay, cool. So yeah, S tier is those ones, and there may be some other S tier ones as we go through that we're just like not thinking of off the bat.
Yeah, there's definitely other ones, but those are just the ones that are like easy. Those are the free ones. Nobody disagrees with that unless they are dumb. We're selfish,
it works out,
which is dumb, but yeah.
Yep. All right, cool. Next
now
up,
we can just go in order, honestly.
Even actually, instead of going in order, these ones
unless we can
first
go to F. You do.
So the Nintendo Labos, just because they're right there and they're so different from the rest of them, I feel like we should just go ahead and decide where those go. I don't think they're all in the same tier either. I haven't played a single one of them, if I'm being honest, but I watched millions of videos on them in their time.
This is the thing. Like, I've played Labo VR and that's it. Nintendo sent all of them, but I gave them to Justin because he has children. So Justin would know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can't speak on it, but I can say that like just in a vacuum with the Labo VR, I'd give Labo VR like a solid like low B, high C.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Also, I think this list has, oh, here we go. It just has double for some reason of the
Robo
one.
Yeah,
so I'll just move Robo down here. Yeah, I feel like VR, from what I've seen, ironically, that was one present, one Christmas. Ashley, I would go high C. I feel like, again, not having played it, so I don't know.
Fair. We'll see. I mean, we'll see if it needs to go up or down.
Yeah, that makes sense
as we fill out the rest of it.
Oh, it wasn't this one. It was I think the basic Labo kit in the year that came out. She got it for me for Christmas, and I had happened to say at some point, I was like, yeah, but like, just because I felt it in my bones that I thought maybe she was going to get it for me for Christmas, and I wasn't super excited about playing it myself. And so I was like, oh, I probably don't want it. So she returned it before Christmas actually happened, which is funny. All right, what about the other ones?
Trev, before we move on to other ones, he said, honestly, the building is significantly cooler than the games to me.
Yeah.
The engineering that it took to build all of those things out of cardboard is very, very impressive. I think that is like actually the main draw, and it's supposed to be.
I agree.
Like the games are cool, but the games are like supposed to be like the fruits of your labor. It's like, here's a small reward for the engineering feat that you took part in, which is like, it's neat. I think they could have did more to reward that by like, giving people more games. And honestly, like the like snake eats its tail moment would have been if like the garage, like Game Maker's Garage or whatever it's called.
Yeah, right.
If that had like
online.
Not even online, but like support for Labo. Like if you could make Labo games with that, like that'd be sick. Like,
well, so I mean, there was, at least in one of them, there was a garage mode that you could make,
but I
mean
like,
smaller games.
But I mean like the whole entire garage, like the game that they released. If they made that
garage,
yeah, that would be sick. That would be sick.
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel like at least sharing the games that you made within those online would have been cool. But I mean, I could see how there's red flags there and stuff, like
they would have had the
for content reasons.
So, the other ones,
I'd be fine moving VR up to B and then having the other ones B, C. I feel like two of them are C. I feel like the base kit and the vehicle kit are C, and maybe the robot is D, just from the things I've seen of it, but I don't know. Maybe it's also C.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Right. I don't have any strong opinions about the ones I didn't play.
Yep. Makes sense. All right, cool. Now we're just going in order. Super Mario Party.
Solid C.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Not going in order, because you know what? Mario Party Superstars, while we're on it.
A.
Agreed. It's true. Like, it's so good. I really hope they do DLC for it. As opposed to just doing another $60 game.
Yeah, they dropped.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like if it doesn't.
Also, it depends on what perspective you're looking at it from. Yeah. For us, they dropped the ball. For them, they could probably drop another $60 game, and it will probably a lot.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I think for me, still, I wouldn't be too surprised if there was DLC that came to the expansion pack this summer.
Yep.
But past that, I wouldn't be holding my breath any longer.
Yeah, I think they definitely have a lot like more incentive to like let it rip on DLC now. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Pokken Tournament.
I'd give this a B or A.
Okay.
I think Pokken's like pretty cool, but the thing about Pokken is like it doesn't have people that are not in the peanut gallery. We had this little conversation about Smash and its competitive life. It doesn't have that, like it's not super supported by the player base. And the thing that is like, or by a player base, I should say, the thing that's rough is that Pokken Tournament has what Smash doesn't have, and that's developer support. So it's like if that whole thing, if the worlds collided there, like it could be honestly an S. Yeah. But because it doesn't, it's like even I, who love fighting games, love Pokemon, don't play this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say,
but the game itself is fun and it is good.
not that this is what fighting games are or anything like that, but like with ARMS, it's another one that had a pretty lackluster single player thing, which like you don't need to have much of a single player thing, but there's other fighting games in the past besides Smash or whatever that have had, even like Tekken or whatever, that'll just have story mode, and it's cheesy and whatever, but at least gives you something to do. But I remember my friend Mitch played this game and was disappointed because like played some online but then played some by himself, and it was just like there's isn't a whole lot.
It's just like a boss rush sort of thing. It's like they have the league or whatever, they just fight up the ranks, but it's boring. That's usually the case with, I'd argue, every fighting game except for maybe Smash. And even Smash is bad at it except for Brawl. So
I mean, even I'd be fine even with like I think Tekken's done it.
Tekken has like an adventure mode.
It's it's like that. It's just something to tie together fights for the sake of fights, which is fine. It's not like the best, but it at least gives you some sense of kind of progress and things like that, which is nice. So I'd agree with high B for that one.
There's that.
Yep. Fire Emblem Warriors.
I mean, heavy bias, but I'd give this an F. I'd give this an F, but like maybe D. Preserve D for like truly terrible games. But I don't know if there are any here.
I know that's the thing. Like as I think about it, I added an F tier, but I'm not sure that there's going to be much to put there. Which is good,
Sorry, did not like that.
I mean, I think it's one of those things. This is our personal redirect list, so like, it's somewhat objective, but also that we just didn't play that game, so it is what it is.
It's true.
I'd be fine with a D, not for its quality, but just for my interest in it specifically. Sorry, guys. Tetris 99.
B.
I'd put this pretty high. It gets a lot of support too, which is really nice. That like support in terms of like the boards and stuff, and there's just like an active community of people that play it, and it's just well done. Like if you like Tetris, and this is a good way to play Tetris.
Sure.
So it's good.
I like Tetris. I play this every once in a while when I just feel like play a Tetris, but also I have Tetris Puyo, or game's called, and I bought that to just play Tetris, but I just played Tetris 99. So there's that. Mario
this
plus
one's gonna be divisive. Mario plus Rabbids.
I'd give it a C.
I would give it more than a C for sure. I'd be fine with B.
Put it in B.
All right. This is gonna start getting tricky because like some of these games, like I really liked.
I was gonna say B for Paper Mario.
Like I really liked it, and in the context of just like games as a whole, I might give it an A. But in the context of Switch first party games, it just like by default, a lot of things kind of fall down the list a little bit. So similar, like I think Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, I could see giving an A in the grand scheme of things, but in this context, it doesn't quite make that list.
Sounds good to me.
Brain Training. I don't even know.
I didn't play it.
This one was the UK or Europe or non-American.
I know what you're talking about. I didn't play it.
Yep.
We should probably add that.
Let's do it. I'm just going to change F to haven't played.
Yeah, there we go.
Nope. I'm going to change it to
True.
Clubhouse Games.
We could put the other Lambos in there, honestly.
Oh, that's true. Honestly, I'm fine with that. Did you only play the VR one?
I only played the VR one, yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I'm going to put those there. Emotionally, they're where they were before, but Clubhouse games.
Low C, high D.
I'd say C. I mean, I enjoyed playing it a decent amount, but
it was decent, but they like dropped the ball hard on execution. Yeah.
So especially like the weirdest bit is just like the amount of people that could do multiplayer in some of the games. Like,
and these are like games that like exist and like are even structured in the way that they exist in the world, but just like have weird restrictions anyway.
Yeah, it is weird. That said, I played a lot of Yahtzee on this for a couple of weeks. just because they call it something different. I don't remember what they call it. But.
I don't remember either. Yacht dice.
Yacht dice.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Job.
That's what it is. That's what it is. I have a memory.
You do. What a guy. Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe.
Low B, high C.
I'd say low B. I was gonna say I feel like I put this one a little bit higher than the community typically puts it because I don't know, like when you consider the new Super Mario Bros. Fatigue, I agree. But as a standalone game, like just taking all of that out, it's still a good game. It's
okay.
You know?
Yeah.
It's So it's the context lowers
it is meant to be good at.
Yep. All right. Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I thought it was
I'd give Pikmin 3 Deluxe like a B or an A.
I'd do high B, low A for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So let's put a high B and we can see if we move it around a little bit later.
Yep.
This B is stacked right now. I feel like
it's true.
Curious if we get to other games, if it's just going to be like that, but we'll see. This one, neither of us played. World Ends With You. So there you go. I think there's a couple like that where it's like, I think this one includes specifically also Nintendo published ones, but there might be some missing as we go through. So I don't know. We'll see. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
I didn't play this, but I played the original game.
Yeah. I'll let you say your piece if you have a piece to say.
I'd give it a C, but
I don't want to give it a C, but I think it's I think B it is, but I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm putting Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in A. Sorry, y'all. It's just going there.
I'm not necessarily. I was about to say I'm not necessarily mad at that, but that game's kind of cursed. So like,
there is definitely. I'm just choosing to ignore that part of it because, like, as a game, all the things great, but there's just a couple decisions they made that, like, y'all, chill out.
It's true.
So luckily, seriously, so far, I've been playing more of Torna, and it seems to be toned down for the most part, but there's still some characters that persist throughout the game. So you don't have like the bunch of blades that are like super atrociously obnoxious on that front, but yeah, there's definitely like Mithra, you can change your costume, which is good. That was helpful. But still, I just ran into another character that's from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and there it is. So whatever. All right, moving along. Luigi's Mansion 3.
A.
Yes, absolutely. Put high A. It's really good. No questions asked. It's really good. Splatoon 2.
High A, low S.
Let's go S just to be nice. We can. I don't have many opinions on Splatoon.
Very good video game.
Indeed. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
A.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. It's a good game. How do you feel about it? Having played it on the Wii U, how do you feel about it? Wii U versus Switch?
I mean, I didn't really play that much of it on Wii U, to be honest. I played like half of the first book, and I was like, "This is neat," and then I never played it again. Nice. And then Nintendo sent it on the 3DS and the Switch. I played a little bit on 3DS. I almost finished it on Switch, and I like it a lot. It's a fun game. It's one of those games that is good for pick up and play. Like, I'm just gonna like clear out a few chapters or whatever, right? Or not a few. I don't like the individual pages of the chapters. Yeah, I do a level or two, and then do whatever else I got to do for the day. I haven't experienced that all in co-op though. You could speak more to that, I'm sure.
I did a little bit in co-op, and it was a bit tricky at that time because I was doing the camera and actually didn't really know how to do the camera. So like there's something to be said for that was a little bit difficult.
But also that like depends on who you play with, I think. Because that could be very like, even if it's like bad, it could be fun. Like 3D World, like that. That was
right, exactly.
Yep.
So all that stuff.
So yeah,
there you go. Yoshi's Crafted World.
Low B.
I agree. Yeah. That was one that like at first I agreed with the like, yeah, it's doing things better than New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. And then it like individually it does, but in terms of like the whole flow of the game, like once I beat okay, I'll say it this way. The individual levels and the concepts within the levels, I think are more interesting and better done than in Mario. Specifically New Super Mario Bros.
I
U
just
Deluxe.
thought, well, never mind. I was about to say, because what I was going to say is this game sits in between where I feel Kirby Star Allies sits and where Forgotten Land sits. Like it is better and more mechanically interesting, and like it has more fun ideas with level design and like the gameplay gimmicks and stuff like that. But it is not as good, or even really close.
Yeah, agreed.
Kirby in the Forgotten Land.
But I guess that's where, like you said, we should mention this list was only made on January 10th.
Yeah.
So it's missing a couple games from this year that we'll just have to honorable mention into their locations.
I mean, while we're here.
Yeah, why not?
I'd say Kirby in the Forgotten Land is like high A.
I'd agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't quite make it to S, but it's real good.
Like right now, given where it's at, I mean, I can't. This doesn't have as much meaning as it would if I entirely agreed with where Xenoblade is.
Right.
But sure. I would put it behind Mario Party.
Yeah, I could see that. I'd probably put it. Yeah, I mean, it's negligible difference to me, but yeah, it's up there for sure. I mean, on my Switch, I ranked it somewhere. I've got like a top 10 or something folder of games on there, and it's up there.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's, I guess, similarly. Well, we'll get to the other ones from this year when we get to them. Yeah. All right.
Thought that we should bring up Kirby because I mentioned it, and also we should do Kirby Star Allies while we're on that topic.
Sure. Yeah. Kirby Star Allies.
Free. I was going. The thing that I thought of wasn't even like my initial thought before I finished the thought on where Kirby versus Yoshi versus Star Allies, like that whole thing was because I was like, maybe we should have F. but this would be the only game in there. So bottom of D.
Oh man, poor
game sucks.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. It's now having a more of an appreciation for Kirby as a whole in some regards. I can see the appeal of like the fan service bits and stuff like that, but just like playing the levels was boring.
Yeah, very. Paint drying is way more interesting.
Yeah, and you know what? That's even in the context of like playing some of the Forgotten Lands levels, not the later ones. Some of the boss levels were definitely harder unless you like are carried by your weapons, which you can totally do. But at least the secrets are fun in Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. The environment is honestly like that's one of the best. Just the vibe of the game.
Yeah, because I was going to say I don't even want to bring up difficulty because like for me it has nothing, like absolutely nothing to do with that. Like the game could be stupid easy and still be fun.
It's just exactly it's just
Star
interesting
Allies
stuff.
Is not that.
Yeah. That's what Mark said. First party Nintendo games are like the MCU. Worst sin any entry commits is being boring.
True. That's a fact.
Well said. Next up on this list is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna in the Golden Country. I'm just going to stick that with the other one just for simplicity. I haven't finished it, so I couldn't for sure say, but it's good so far. So nice. Mario Tennis Aces.
Will be high C.
Yeah, I'm good with that. It's like mechanically, it's really good. It's just, and honestly, and in some regards, that's all it needs for some players. Like I know John Cartwright talks all the time about how the online is great and stuff, and like he plays this game in a similar kind of way that you'd play. Well, not that you'd play Smash necessarily because he doesn't play it.
I feel like he plays Smash like I play Smash.
He plays Smash like you play Smash. But same kind of a difference where I think about the game in terms of like the single player kind of thing, and then that's just not how
I think
that's
the differentiator for me, where it's like if I would care to put it in B or C. Like I don't really care to fight for either, because I think the game's really good, but like it didn't hook me enough to want to play it online that much. And I think that's kind of like there's a game has a window of time where it can hook me and then a friend or two. And then if I like it enough, even beyond when that friend or two drops off, I continue to play it. It never hooked me and a friend or two. It just, I liked it enough and it was fun. And then no friends played it. So whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
I'm good with it there. High C.
Yep.
Damon X Machina.
D.
I agree.
Higher than Kirby.
Yeah, I only played the demo for this one, and like apparently it got better later, but I didn't even give it much of a chance to do it. So technically, I could put it in the haven't played, in the sense that like we haven't played the
full game. Release. Played both of the demos though. Like,
same. Just didn't. Didn't quite seem worth. So is what it is.
Yep.
All right. Link's Awakening.
I'm not mad at A for this.
Yeah.
Like low A.
I would agree with exactly that. Yeah. I loved Link's Awakening growing up. Somehow a little bit of the magic
never played it.
Lost
the original
by not by like even what the remake did, but I think just like, you know, it's one of those things where as a kid you sort of build it up in your mind as I had a lot of, it was just nostalgia heavy, you know, basically where it's like the game, there's a part of the main story of the game is based on a fetch quest that you don't really know all of the components to. So it's just either tricky to do on your own or you just look it up. And like, that was a bit frustrating. So there was more frustration in this game than I wanted there to be. Not like a ton, but just enough to knock it down to a lower A than a higher A, but still super cute game. It was fun. There you go. Animal Crossing.
S.
Easy. Yep. Do you want to move it up anywhere within S? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter. Cool. I think we're still in the window of like all these games are the best at the platform, what they're trying to be, you know? So like if you're a type of gamer that likes Animal Crossing, that's your favorite game, you know? Like that sort of thing, right?
RP said Animal Crossing, best game of lockdown era. Absolutely. That's a fact. Yeah, easy.
Free.
Super Mario Maker 2.
Hey.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it could have been S. That's like the disappointment portion of it brought it down from S to A, but it's still like super, super good game. And it's like the stuff people do with it is insane.
I'd put it like,
something like that. Yeah. Even for me personally,
for listeners, we put it behind Super Mario Party and I mean Mario Party Superstars, and we'll go through and like list it in order when we're done.
All right, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I never played the full version. I just played a little bit with you and Bob and Will that one time.
It's fun. I'd give it like a high C, low B.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah, it was a good time. So there it is. 1-2 switch.
I'd give it a C. Better than Mario Party. Yeah. Nice. Fun game, but like it's a party trick. You know, it's like oh, look at this thing. You could feel the metal balls. You know, like
it is one that like at this point I don't know how well it is or isn't selling. Probably not like
I mean it sold as much as it's going to sell. It sold like 4.5 million copies. That is more than that game can hope for. You know,
I just wonder if it's like it wasn't a pack-in at the beginning, but like it feels like an easy one that they could just use as a pack-in equivalent now somewhere.
I don't know. I think that people
just for like Switch Online or something like that.
Like I think pack-ins only really work in the sense that people will buy a console because this pack-in or be like
Yeah.
it even tip over the decision of like, oh, here comes this game, right?
Yeah.
Like it has to be that Wii Sports level of like, I'm not buying the console, I'm buying the game.
Yeah.
You know,
and I guess I don't even
Nintendo
necessarily
Switch is
mean
not that.
Yeah, I don't think it would be a hardware, like in the same way that Mario Kart is a hardware pack-in.
Mhm.
Definitely don't mean that. More, I guess I was thinking in the like NSO in some regard.
Oh
Put it
yeah,
in there
yeah.
or something like that. You know, like it
Is
feels like
even,
it's got.
can you even get this game digitally? I think so, probably.
I think so. Pretty sure.
I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep. Checks out. Ring Fit Adventure. I didn't
I
play
haven't
much of
played
it, but I've played enough to know that it's, yeah, I'd say somewhere in, I mean, technically probably I think A, but
yeah, I can hear it.
not for me
Honestly, I
personally.
never played it, but I can hear an argument for that even being
Yeah.
S. But like A,
Yeah,
because
right.
like, you know, you don't feel strongly about it, and I haven't played it. So
Yeah. I only played the demo for Sushi Striker.
D.
Yeah. Did you say D?
D.
All right. I'm sure technically it's higher, but I'm gonna put it in haven't played just for offensive reason. Actually, technically, Fire Emblem
I have
Warriors,
played
put
it.
in there. Oh, you have?
Yeah.
All right. D it is.
Product provided by Nintendo.
Oh, rough.
Yeah.
Cool. Bayonetta 2, I haven't played. So
A.
Cool.
Low A. Yeah.
Low A.
Yeah.
Nice. Makes sense. Get up there.
Bayonetta is a good game. Good game.
Yeah. I'm wondering if when 3 comes out, if I'll try it out then or not. But
I feel like that's the type of game. I mean, like, you could, in theory, just jump in and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But like, it is like a story game. So you will be like, what? And already people playing the game to some degree are like, what? You know?
Yeah. Right.
Like, the story makes sense. It's not quite Kingdom Hearts level, but it is on that like track.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's interesting. It just, something about it doesn't seem quite like my game, but I don't know, you know.
I mean, I could see you liking it on the like high scores when the like min-max sort of situation, but like at the same time, it's kind of fighting gamey. So like,
right. I don't know. We'll see. But in any case, low A. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX.
I see.
I played the beginning of that game. I got it for Ashley for Christmas, and we played up through basically. Well, we played the demo, and then we got the game, and then started it again because it was on a different profile, and played up through where the demo ended, and that's it. So, should we have spent $60 on it? Probably not. But did we?
You should have just downloaded mine.
Probably, yeah.
I like it. It's cool.
Yeah.
But I mostly like it because I like Pokemon. So
Yeah,
like
right.
the whole thing of like being a Pokemon and changing the context of like what playing a Pokemon game is. And like the personality test aspect of it is cool too. That's most of it for me. Like the minute gameplay is like whatever.
That was Ashley's favorite part of it, was the
best part.
BuzzFeed type quiz at the beginning.
It's the best part.
You could get that for free in the demo, you know?
Yeah, true. But honestly, I think that they like, if they're going to make more mystery dungeon games, I think they should steer into that skid and like have that matter so much more than it does, and have you have tests like that throughout the game.
Yep.
That impact different things. But
I think that makes sense, because there's not a ton of games that, I mean, I guess visual novels or whatever, like that's part of that sort of a thing, kind of. But honestly, that feels even a little bit kind of in the direction of Miitopia in how it feels like a personal adventure, sort of,
Right.
Yeah, that works. That would be smart.
But even more than that, I think they could use it in real Pokemon games. But
true.
It's a different topic for a different video.
That's true. All right. ARMS.
B.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd put it where Pokemon is, because that's how I feel about it. It's exactly that. It is the same thing. It's like, I think the game is very good, but the player base is not there, so there's no real reason to play it.
Yeah, I only played the demo, I think, of that, and it is what it is. Astral Chain.
Somebody ban Mark immediately.
I played Astral Chain. I played like half of Astral Chain. I'd say mid B. Or like a solid B. It was a fun game, like in the action sequences and stuff like that. I felt like the detective-y sequences slowed it down a bunch, and I don't know. It
I
just
put
like
this
didn't
like bottom of B. At the highest. I want to put it like bottom of C, honestly, but
did you? Oh yeah, you played it. That's
I
right.
played it, yeah. And it's another one of those games where it's like it gets good once you play it for X amount of hours, and that's stupid and terrible. And it wasn't even worth, like once I got to that point, I'm like, I get it, and I get why people like this game because it got to that like the freaking like 7-hour mark or whatever, and it's like, oh, the mechanics click now, everything works, but it's terrible game design because it's not even a thing of like I played it for X amount of hours and I like learned as I went. The game literally locks mechanics away from you that make the game not even like, it's not a sort of thing that's like, oh, it feels more rewarding to play this. It makes the game feel functional. Like in the beginning of the game, you can't roll. I think it's the roll function that you just can't do. Like, game sucks, honestly. But like, because people like the like once you get the X hour mark, I'll give it the low B.
Yeah, I generally agree with that. I think for me, the detective part specifically, I think the thing that was a bit frustrating about it is like you can, I don't know how to put this. It asks you questions like, did this person say it was this or that? And then, you have to answer them. And honestly, in most games, there's times where I just feel like skipping through the cutscenes or like just hit, smash an A. And it's like, I know what's going on. I get the big picture. I don't really care about the dialogue right now. So I just want to get through it. And like having to specifically answer, it was a fish that I saw over there, or that kind of a thing. It's like, I don't always want to do that. And that part makes you do it more than I want to. And so for somebody that's like into it and is like, I knew it, I got it right, I was correct, then that's great for them. But it just didn't quite click for me in that regard.
It didn't click for you. Put it in C.
Well, because I liked the combat parts of it, but I'll put it in high C. That's fine.
There we go.
All right, Box Boy and Box Girl.
B.
Yeah, for Box.
That's a fact. It's a fun game. It's very close to the like Captain Toad sort of thing for me. I just don't think it's as good at that.
Right. Yeah. It's just like little simple fun. I think with this kind of thing, this intended scope of things definitely factors into, if this were a $60 game, it'd be like, game sucks. But, as a $20 game or whatever it is.
I don't even think I think it's like 10.
I think it's 10. Yeah.
Product provided by Nintendo.
I'm looking it up. Box Boy and Box Girl. I haven't bought it yet, so it'll actually tell me. It's taking longer than I was expecting. All right, whatever. We'll keep looking. $10.
There we go.
Honestly, might just buy it and I'll just download it off your.
Yeah, just download.
All right. So next up, Super Mario 3D.
D. No, I'm joking.
Controversy.
But the thumbnail no, I'm not. The thing is, like with the new format, can't even really do that, to be honest. I don't even know what the thumbnail is going to be for this.
But I don't know.
Couldn't
tell you.
I have no idea.
Maybe something. Who's to say? But what about?
I don't know. But what?
You could do the same kind of backgrounds, but then like A something, D something.
That's what I was thinking, but we'll see.
It's
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
I believe in you.
I don't.
All right.
I'll figure it out.
Super Mario 3D All Stars.
I mean, I don't know how to like
value.
I'm like,
I'll do low A. Just because it's in some regards, it's three of some of the best games of all time. But also they're older
and
games,
quotes.
so like
and quotes.
Exactly. Right. So I don't know. That one's tricky for those reasons.
Like you get what you pay for, but that's something. It's like, I don't know.
And honestly, for some people, I mean, I know folks
I think it's like
that have never played these, and played them, tried them out, played Super Mario 64 for the first time ever once, and was like, I don't want to be playing this. And then tried some of the other ones out and played Mario Galaxy like 20 minutes. And then basically, if you have nostalgia for these games, it's AS whatever. And if you don't, it's risky.
But yeah, exactly. That's the thing that makes this tough.
Or history.
It's hard to put it like my brain says this is D. But like my brain also says I don't know where to put it because it does what it says it's going to do.
Right.
And there's like literally no other game on here that is like that, because even the other, well, so far I don't know what is on this list in its entirety. Even the like Wii U remasters or the ports are games that most people have never played before. So like for the small amount of people that's like, oh, as long as you got the game that like I like and it's not like messed up, that's fine or whatever. But for the most part, people are judging these ports on their merits of like, this is a game based on how good the game is. But the thing is with these games, almost nobody's judging the games like they're new games, So like me as somebody that is always doing that, like if I buy a new game, or a game that is new to me, I'm judging it like it came out yesterday, because at the end of the day, I'm paying the same money that I would pay for a game that came out yesterday. Why am I giving this game a pass?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. Like,
I mean, let's just meet it in the middle and put it somewhere in B, just because all those things are true.
It's fair.
I'll put it over. Yeah, there you go. Higher than
Mark is out of control. Somebody ban him immediately. Immediately.
It is funny though, because like putting, some people would say Super Mario Galaxy is one of the best games of all time, but it's going in B somehow. But I think it's
but I don't know. I think that like that scale is weighted.
Yes,
100%. Like they are. I don't know anybody that is like Mario 64 or whatever is the best game of all time, and that's removed from any context of me playing it when it came out. And
right, yeah, exactly.
Like somebody that like played the game, the target audience for this game played this game, and I don't mean like, oh, it was like I sat my 7-year-old down and she liked it a lot. It's like, because you like it a lot. Like I want to know how kids that like just picked it up because they thought it looked neat in 2022 what they think about the game, because I feel like it would fare a lot worse.
I would be interested to maybe like run a little experiment with that, because I don't know. I'll have to ask around and see. Tricky. All right, moving along. We got some more left, but we're closing in there. Hyrule Warriors.
Play with the other one.
I'm fine with that. I didn't play it, so whatever. Just for simplicity.
Product
works for me. All right, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Hey.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. It's a good game,
It's a good game.
It does all the right things.
Yeah.
And what else does a good job? The game, good job. Actually, I didn't play this one, so this is up to you.
I like this game. High B, low A.
High B, low A. We'll go high B. Sure. I need to play that one, honestly.
It's a good game. It's fun. It's very similar to like the Box Boy sort of thing of like, it's like something I could tinker with for a little bit. It has neat puzzles and cool solutions and like Kirby.
Do you think it's better single player or multiplayer?
I never played a multiplayer.
Okay, cool. Well, it's still good single player.
True.
Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I would put
it with the other one, but
I would not. I mean, I would probably put the other ones higher than they are, but for the funnies, it's I don't even care, so I'm fine to leave them there. I'd put Hyrule Warriors high B.
No,
Age of Calamity. That was technically my, I think, game of the year for 2020.
All right, fine.
No, it was really good. I thought because They're the one disappointing
Plea for calamity. Yo, me and Mark agree for the first time. This is historical. This means something, Parker. We must.
Oh, so sad though. I'm going to bump it down a little bit, but I would put it still up, pretty high. That's my thoughts. Your call.
You can just keep aware of that, man.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
In that case, moving on. Dragon Quest XI S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. The longest name we've ever done.
I mean, I played the demo.
Yeah, I haven't even played the demo. So I think if I had played this, it would be probably an S.
It'd be C for me, but we could put it in, huh?
Yeah. Makes sense. All right, this is probably divisive. Octopath Traveler.
I mean, I haven't played it. I played the demo.
Okay. I have free reign to put it in high S. No, not really.
No, absolutely not.
I'd say for me, honestly, low A.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Probably
I mean, honestly, looking at some of these,
even
games,
technically not to me, but to the channel.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Low B.
Yeah, I feel like they were good. Like
True, they did what they were supposed to do.
Exactly. Yeah. In the wake of other Pokemon games, I feel like they, have more of a bad reputation, sort of, until you like really think about it and like, no, those are good games. Like,
I think for the most part, they had a much worse reputation with people that didn't play the game or didn't want to play the game than people that did. Like, I don't know many, if any, people that like actually played these games. I'm like, this game sucked. Pretty fun.
Yep. It's a fun time. Pokemon Sword and Shield.
A.
Yeah. High or low?
Mid. It's like, it's good for a Pokemon game, but like it's good. Yeah, exactly. Like it's and the thing is, like, I think amongst Pokemon games it's an S, but like I think that Pokemon games are not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do.
Because like, I mean, Arceus isn't on here, I don't think. But I'd put
it's not
in A too, honestly. Like,
I agree with that. I'd put it in lower than Sword and Shield.
I'd put it lower than Sword and Shield.
I'd personally put it higher than Sword and Shield, but I'd also put Sword and Shield lower than they are. So I think a little bit of flip flop there in terms of like the preference for the kinds of things that they do and stuff like that. That kind of checks out.
Yeah, I just think that even for you, Arceus ended off on a flop.
Yeah.
Whereas like you didn't like Sword and Shield, so that I think that's different. But this type of game that like if you like the story of the game or whatever, like it ends with like, okay, cool. I got what I wanted out of it. With Arceus, it's like there's no real way to have that moment of like, cool, I got what I wanted out of it, because the main goal of the game is a number. And either you grind at the end to get that number, or you're like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to get the number, Yeah. So it's like,
yeah.
That said, I mean, it's fun. It's I like where they're heading, blah, blah. I would still give it an A, but I do think that it is not as good at what it is trying to do.
Yeah.
Or it's not as good at being a $60 product.
Yeah. I think it was, exactly. It was really fun while it was going on. And then it just like kind of fell by the wayside right towards the end, which, kind of sucks, but what you going to do?
Hey.
RP said Arceus is better because no Shieldbert and Swordsbert. Honestly,
that's a fact.
They were cringe. Like I think the post game,
but that was the point.
Sword and Shield was the trickiest. Not trickiest, like hardest, but just like was the most cringy part of that game to me too. Was
also the DLC exists.
That's true. Yeah, I haven't played that, so
yeah. And I think Dynamax Adventures on their own are S worthy, to be honest. But because it's not built into the base game, it's like,
Fire Emblem Three Houses A, easy. Yep, I put it right there, I think. So all the way at the top.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. Like, not that the amount of time you put into a game doesn't really matter, but
It's how you feel
games,
when you walk away from it, and what
sure.
you got out of while you were playing it,
Yeah.
I think that a game that like when you stop playing it, you have negative thoughts about that game. It can't go in S,
Right.
or A even arguably, but Pokemon's Pokemon.
No, so that's
it's
exactly like, and so it's right next to Luigi's Mansion 3. And Luigi's Mansion 3 was like 3 hours. And by the time I was done, I was like, all right, great game.
3 hours.
That was 15 hours.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was like,
did not mean to say that.
Yeah,
it was
like,
15 hours.
3 come from?
I think just literally the number 3 in the name. Like by the time I finished it, I was like, I had a great time. I was happy that I beat the boss and stuff. There was 1 or 2 times during it that I was like, I don't know if I want to keep playing this, but I think some of that was because I was playing with Ashley some of the times and then not some other times. But all that to say, in those 15 hours, if it had been more than that, I would have not liked more of the game than that. Like it was a perfect amount of time for it. And Fire Emblem Three Houses, like somehow managed to play 80 hours of it and just continue to have a grand old time the whole time. And that's very odd how games are able to do
and
that.
I mean, I played it for 40 and
Yeah.
I was forced to stop playing it, but I wanted to play it.
Yeah. Yeah. It is crazy though. Like thinking back to Astral Chain when we talked about that too. Or other games where, like you play 5 hours of this game and it feels like a slog to get through, to manage to play 5 hours. And then on the flip side, when I was playing Pokemon Legends Arceus, I'd play 5 hours and be like, oh, I just got started, like,
right. But
that's
just
what
in
I'm
terms
saying.
Of feeling, that's why I think Astral Chain sucks because it's like, even for me as somebody that's not an RPG fan, I don't feel that way about Three Houses. Like I felt drawn in within the first few hours of the game. And I think that's even saying more because I don't like these types of games. But I do like action games. And the fact that Astral Chain was like, it had RPG levels of like, after you play the first 20 hours, it's like huge demerit on that. But yeah, no. I think
some of the benefit of those kinds of action games and stuff like that should be that once you learn it, you can go back and just like demolish the, like on your second playthrough, you can just do like so well at the early stuff because now you know what you're doing. And like, it's more about, like you said, the personal learning curve as opposed to just like being gated off from being able to do certain things.
Right. But I'd argue like, even within the context of Astral Chain, even if it was well designed and it gave you all the tools that you needed to do and blah, blah, if it still had that slog for the first 5 hours, that just makes the first 5 hours a chore. It's like, it's not something that's hard. It's not interesting because you're just plowing through it, So it's like, I don't know. I think that's like a recipe for disaster. Like the most important part of your game is the beginning of your game. Like, do I want to continue to play this? So, no, man.
But to go back to the other thing, or is it also the end of the game? Because
both. Both. But I think that the beginning.
It's not.
I think the beginning is slightly more important because like there are games that like have those things of like, I don't feel like playing this anymore, but like I still, it still gets a B, but if the beginning sucks and I don't want to play the game in the first place, that gets a D, if not an F, So you got to get me in the door, I don't have to walk out happy, but I had a happy time with it at some point or another. But if I come and I don't want to walk in through the door, game's not good.
Checks out. Makes sense. All right, so we're on to two more rows now, which is not a ton more games. Snipper Clips.
B.
Yeah, put it with Box Boom Box.
Yep, exactly. Same thing.
I didn't play this one. Neither did you. Tokyo Mirage says in Sharp FE.
Yeah,
so
didn't play.
Going in, didn't play it section. I probably would have liked it fairly well, I'd guess, but
I'm indifferent.
Didn't. So
Yeah.
Cadence of Hyrule.
I mean, B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with that. Jump Rope Challenge. I don't know that this one. I'm putting it
didn't
in.
Play it. Yeah,
I guess that's true. I didn't play it either. Did you play Part-Time UFO?
No.
Same. Continuing on, Mario Golf.
I'd put it with tennis.
Yeah, makes sense. So that's in C for audio listeners.
Yeah, where it's like it's fine, but like again, same reason. It's like it didn't hook enough people and also me to want to
Mhm.
play it after the fact, but I think the base mechanics are fun.
Mhm.
Just not fun enough to want to play for a long time after the fact. And the thing about games like this is that like the question always becomes like when I have a group of people with me, what is the game that they want to play? What do they gravitate towards?
Yeah.
And if it can't beat out Smash or Mario Kart, it's not getting played, you know?
Yeah.
So like you have to be good enough to do that.
At least in its
this,
heyday for a little while,
yeah.
which, yeah, I could see that some of these wouldn't even be able to do that. Mark says Mario Golf got better with the DLC. I don't think the Super Rush mode gets enough credit. Each course is a fully explorable 3D environment.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the Mario sports games on Switch, Aces and freaking Super Rush, both got better with DLC.
Yeah,
but like,
which is part of the problem, if I'm being honest. Like, that's
again, they didn't keep me in the door.
Yeah,
so it's like
I understand it's not, there's no one size fits all kind of solution there, but for me, like, I would think more fondly of these games, which maybe that's just not what Nintendo cares about, is how specifically fondly, how highly they rank in a tier list or whatever,
yeah. I mean, I think it just depends on if, and there's no way of saying this for sure. It depends on how many people were hooked with the base, Yeah. Like that's really the only thing that makes this even close to objective, is if most people dropped off when we did, or if most people did stick around for the DLC. Because I think games like this, for the most part, if it is a thing that's like, hey, here's this free DLC that makes the game better, that only matters for the people that are still playing the game, because people that aren't playing the game anymore, even if they do believe that it makes the game better, they have to think that it makes the game better than what they moved on to,
Right. Yeah.
So it's like,
Yep. I mean, or, like in the case for me, it's where I typically move from game to game to game to game is this better than my backlog? Like if I don't have another new game to play, and sometimes it's not. And so like,
that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. Like,
exactly.
Even if what you're playing is your backlog or a new game, it's still like you're prioritizing, is this game better than the game that I'm playing?
Yep. Yeah. There you go. This next one, I don't know what this is. It looks like Sin and Punishment, but that doesn't make sense. So I don't know why that's on
what the
list.
heck this is. Yeah. What?
Something Japanese, something.
I have no idea what that is.
Couldn't tell you. Moving along. Diamond and Pearl.
Honestly,
yeah.
My soul says D.
Yeah.
My soul says D.
It's rough. Yeah. So that's where I put it.
I'll put it an F. We'll have an F. And it's not that bad. If we had an F, Kirby Star Allies would be the only game in F. But D.
Yeah. It's rough, but yeah. That's how
we've talked about a lot why this game is here. So I don't think we need to belabor the point.
Yep. On the other side of Pokemon,
Pokemon Snap, I think new Pokemon Snap is high A.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would do this, something like that. Yeah,
game's dope.
High A.
Yeah,
it was super good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. This was one where I feel like the DLC coming back. I didn't happen to come back. I didn't happen to come back for the DLC, but I think that was fine. Like I think them doing it this way, where it was free and it felt like there was enough in the game to begin with.
Yeah, totally. Like you didn't walk away from the game like, I'm bored with this game. It's like, okay, I can play other stuff now. I'm satisfied.
And then they were like, oh, there's more stuff, and I was like, oh, cool. If I ever come back to it, then I come back to it. But I also don't feel like I have to.
Right.
So
which is good. Which is good.
Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword.
I won't put it in D, but I mean, I played it, so I have a say here. But
yeah, for sure.
Depends on if you like it a lot.
I wouldn't say I like it a lot. I'd probably put it in C.
Okay, low D.
I'd put it
we can put it above 1, 2.
I mean, I put it above Astral Chain, but then I think that means we just put Astral
Chain I think
lower.
we got to move Astral Chain down. Yeah.
I
think we got to move Astral Chain down. I mean, honestly, where I would put it is, right there. Right there. Yep. Looks good to me. For audio listeners, we put it right above 1, 2 Switch.
Yep. There it is. I don't know why I started saying that. Did you play Big Brain Academy?
No, absolutely not.
I played the demo of it once with some
I
friends.
was going to play the demo on stream, but never got around to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there you go. Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Never played it.
Yep, same. I'm sure it would be higher for me, but also didn't play Miitopia. Did you play Miitopia?
I played a little bit of the demo, but like not really. You know, like I just played I just made Mies.
Yeah. It definitely like lesson learns from seeing other people that if I were to play it, download a million Mies first to have them so that you can plop them in wherever they fit in. Yeah, because otherwise. All right. Bravely Default 2.
Purchased this game, never played it.
And I will put it right up. No, just kidding. Not all the way.
I was about to say, absolutely not.
No, I mean, but I would put it in A for sure.
I'm not mad at that. You can put it in A.
I mean, again, this is both of our lists. So
I bought it from Parker. So I didn't buy it for me.
I'll put it right there.
Sounds good.
That feels good. So it's right behind Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
No, I think it goes above. I think Pokemon. I think that's OD. I think putting above Pokemon's OD. Yeah.
There you go. That works. Again, if this were just either your or my list, these would be shifted around, especially the A tier would kind of swizzle around. But this feels pretty fair. All right. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
Hey.
Easy.
Yeah. Yep.
Like
right. Yep. I don't.
Maybe a little lower. There you go. Right above Mario.
No. I think it's better
higher
than Mario Party.
Yeah.
The only thing that I was debating was Snap. I was like,
okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
I think I like Snap more. But
I think I got more. Yeah. I'm good with this.
See, the thing is like the change, like the deciding factor here is I played 3D World. And I played 3D World. Do you know? I completed that game on Wii U. So 3D World was not part of that package. All for me. Like I played it online a few times, and that was fun. But like most of my enjoyment from that game was Bowser's Fury, which is very good. But I think I liked New Pokemon Snap more than I liked Bowser's Fury. Personally.
I honestly, even with 3D World, like 3D World was good. I enjoyed it. I think the whole package, I think I would have had the same amount of enjoyment.
Already said 3D World is still a solid game, though. I'd agree. It's definitely a solid game. No, totally. I just can't say that I would put it higher than New Pokemon Snap for me, because I didn't care to play it at all. Other than playing it online, which was neat. But like then we get into the whole thing of like it didn't really stick around because people didn't really want to play it online that much, Yep. In my circle anyway. So that was that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that placement. For sure. So we didn't play either of these. Famicom Detective Club 1 or the other one. Metroid Dread.
A.
Easy. Where in A? I put it
over Mario Party.
Over Mario Party.
Maybe over.
Maybe higher.
Maybe over 3D World.
Yeah.
Maybe over Snap.
I think so. Maybe
No, I think I think put it on top of A.
Really? Okay, interesting. I think for me, Three Houses would win out over Metroid Dread. But
it depends. Because you know what? Yeah, move it over under, because there's more about like there's more. I don't really have anything with Three Houses that's like if only it did. That's not just the only reason why I haven't like completed this game and did multiple is because it just feels like I'm like being punished for my save file being gone. It's like trying to like replicate my save file. Or whatever.
That's painful. I feel like if you do it, you would have to do another route just for
just so it's interesting. But like I want to see what happens for the route that I did.
I know.
So it's like I'm frame trapped into that. But for the most part, I think Metroid Dread had more sticking points for me than Three Houses did. Especially since the sticking point that I had with Three Houses was my fault. Like it's not really the game's fault.
Yep. And I'd put it over Luigi's Mansion just because like it was the two games are around the same length. And whereas with Luigi's Mansion, there were a couple of times where I was like, do I want to keep playing this? Yeah, I do. And then it was, it was great as soon as I played it again. I don't think there was a point with Metroid that I considered stopping playing. It was just fun, the whole way through. So good game. Game Builder Garage. I didn't
never played it.
And last but not least, WarioWare Get It Together, which doesn't feel a little anticlimactic to end on, but
yeah, I'd put it somewhere in C.
Yeah. Sure. Something like that.
Yeah.
Mid C, above 1-2 switch.
Yeah.
I played the demo for it and it was neat.
It's fun. I like it. It's again, it has like a similar thing to like what Snipper Clips and Box Boy and Box Girl did, but it's just to a lesser degree to those. Yep. So I think it would be way better if it wasn't a thing that like locks you into using more characters to do the thing, because there's just certain characters that I don't like. So that makes the experience worse. But it's good for what it is.
Yeah. And that's our list. Some of these might move around, but I don't feel like doing that right now. I feel like we can
I think we did a good enough job at moving around as we went. Yeah.
So more or less here, I'll take a screenshot and
you don't even gotta take a screen. You could save it. Do the thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So scroll down, save slide.
Download.
Yep.
Download image.
Yep.
Look at that.
We could throw it in the recording chat.
Sure. All right. I'll stop sharing my screen, do that, and then we'll move on with the podcast. So the next bit, and I'll drop this in here. Actually, here it's right there.
We'll tweet it out.
Everybody wants to see it.
We'll tweet it out for audio listeners on podcast services. Or you can, well, actually, no, never mind. I was about to say, or you can go to the Discord, but if you're not a supporter, you won't be able to get in here, in this chat specifically. So we'll tweet it out.
Yep. So the first bit of news, Nintendo, they might want to get some sort of pack in or something, because they're forecasting 20 million Switch sales for next fiscal year, which is a 10%.
Yeah, man, that's rough, dude.
No monies for them.
20 million Switches there, like in the bread line for sure, dude. Like,
rough times.
Crazy.
Okay, actually, hang on. Nintendo expects to sell 20 million. It says for this current fiscal year. Okay, for the one that's already started, because we're already in it.
Yeah.
So that's between April and next March 2023. Also next week we'll be getting the like fiscal results and stuff, so that'll be interesting.
That'll be next spot. We can do that with Daniel.
We shall. Yeah, just see where all that's up. Let me read this. Which is 10 out of blah, blah, blah. Kyoto-based company says the revised forecast is primarily due to the current component shortages and supply chain issues, which are affecting other companies such as Apple and Sony, and which has been exacerbated by the Russian military forces invasion of Ukraine. Nikkei Asia reports that this is a 30% decrease from fiscal year 2020, when sales of the Switch hit a peak of 28.83 million. The company has reiterated that despite the Switch being 6 years old, demand remains solid. To compensate for the decline in Switch console sales, Nintendo plans to shift more software. Oh, that's fun.
Which is, that says a lot for the games that we can expect, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that this makes sense, even without all this. Say there was no real supply constraints in general, and every Switch they made, every Switch people wanted to buy, they bought. I think that there would still be a decrease in this fiscal year, barring that they do a
revision or something,
because
even with one, to be honest, like if at this point we're assuming March 3rd, 2023, Switch Pro comes out, just like the most tried and true, straightforward prediction that somebody could make, then they only get the benefit of that for that 25 days. You know what I mean? So like, it's not going to help overall sales that much. So
it would have to sell more in that 25 days than what OLED contributed in 20 months or whatever.
Exactly.
Well, actually, no, like 5 months.
Yeah. So I think, it definitely makes sense. And it is interesting just that the chip shortage and stuff like that still going on. But that last bit of it, specifically to compensate for the decline in Switch console sales. Nintendo plans to shift more software. I'm curious. Can I look?
Yeah, because obviously that means that they have more big games to announce because they can't. We plan to sell more of the games that we have right now than we plan to sell before. So
yep.
That could just mean that they have high expectations for Pokemon and Zelda.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know, like, because see, the thing is, like, I would have to see how much Arceus sold. Because like in the beginning, Arceus was like outpacing Pokemon games,
right,
for the most part, from what I saw. But if it like maintained that, then I think that is probably they're going to announce more games. But if it didn't and it like fell behind where Sword and Shield is or whatever, it's probably because of Pokemon and Zelda. So we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see that, like you said, with Legends Arceus, because like with it being, I don't remember what words exactly I was going to say, but they were so good. You better believe it. But yeah, just like that game might have had really strong front end and then just like not have a lot of longevity. The same with that, like, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee continue to sell.
It did the same thing. Yeah, it sold 11 million copies in its first like 5 months or whatever, and then after that, it would shift like 100 to 500,000. I don't even think it was that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a couple 100,000 units per year, which is not bad. But it's not 11 million in a year. Right. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened with Arceus.
Yeah.
Especially since people like, I think across the board that obviously people feel differently about the fact that it had the life cycle that it did. But I think across the board, people pretty much had this like very like compact experience with the game where it's like the game came out, they played it for maybe a month and then they didn't play it anymore.
Yeah.
For the most part. So I think that might have changed how the sales went too. Because there's not as many people being like, yo, you got to buy this game and we can play battles or we can do Dynamax adventures or whatever. It's like,
exactly.
You get the game and then you play it by yourself or you don't.
Which, I mean, for what it's worth, is the same for like Breath of the Wild or whatever. But the difference,
but Breath of the Wild, people played Breath of the Wild for 200 hours, so or more. So there still are streamers playing the game and be like, "Oh, this game is still dope," and it's like people that are like, "I was on the fence before, but you're still playing this game and having fun with it. I'll buy this game." So I think that's another thing that doesn't really get acknowledged enough either, is that like streaming is a huge part of this now, where it's like for a long time people, even if they like, we have the anecdotal examples of like Trev bought Pokemon Sword and Shield, didn't buy the DLC, saw that I bought the DLC and was playing the DLC with people, saw how fun it was and bought the DLC. And he's not even the only one within our community that did that. And we don't have millions of followers, right? So like, you got to imagine if we see that direct sell through of like, oh, we played this game and people bought this game because we're playing this game. You got to bet people like freaking Ludwig or whoever that are playing games for a longer period of time are shifting games for longer, So I think that might, we might see that in the Arceus sales.
Yep. I did just look up the previous fiscal year. So that's April 2020 to March 2021. And Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee sold 1.3 million in that 1 year. So like, it has more tail than I thought it did, but it's, still not crazy compared to what most Pokemon games are actually like. So that said, for Legends Arceus, it'll be interesting to see how it compares to that as well. Like in future years, 2 years after it's come out, does it still sell more than 1 million or not?
We'll see.
We will see indeed. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. The other thing for this is just like, again, it could very well be that, like you said, the shifting more software has more to do with more units of software, or like, continues to shift more software as opposed to shifting more software. You know what I mean? But that said, we also think we're probably going to have a direct around June time, and that would be when we'd find out about other games coming out this year. So I'm just curious about that. You know, we'll see. Or throughout the beginning of next year and stuff as well. So yeah.
Yep. There's that.
There it is. Speaking of games coming out this year, Mario Strikers comes out in less than a month, more than a month.
Isn't it June? I think it's like the end of June, isn't it?
It's either June 10th or 24th, and then Fire Emblem Three Hopes is the other one, but I think this one might be the 10th. Here,
why didn't they drop this game? I mean, or whichever game sooner in this month. Granted, I don't care because I'm not playing Three Hopes. But
and it is okay. It's June 10th. Just checked. So that means Fire Emblem Three Hopes, is June 24th. But yeah, I don't know. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But the trailer looks good. I mean, it's in Japanese, so I understood none of the words. But just looking like games look really nice. And obviously, Next Level Games is doing a good job of that. The only thing that's interesting is it's just 10 characters that are announced so far. So I'm curious if they announce more characters or it's just going to be I'm sure DLC kind of update sort of thing. But the battles are 4v4. And while you can pick some of the same characters multiple times, that just feels a little bit weird that it's like you're using up 80% of your roster theoretically every single
the
match.
Same character.
Yeah.
Granted, I mean, it's not too far from how the other game was, right? Where it's like you have most of your team is like grunts,
Yeah.
Where it's like, and I have Koopaling 1 and 2, like that sort of situation.
Mm-hmm. But there it is. Yeah. Any thoughts on Mario Strikers?
I'm excited for it. Looks cool. Hopefully it doesn't end up like the other Mario sports games, but I suspect it will. In the sense that for me personally, in the sense that it's like, it will be super fun for a week and a half. And then I'll probably never play it again. Or maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll last much longer than that, which is fine. I don't regret my purchases of any of the Mario sports games because I bought them knowing that was the life that they were going to have.
Right. I think I'll be most curious, and I don't watch the whole trailer, so maybe this did talk about it, but if there is any kind of specifically single player or story mode kind of a thing in it, and that'll be the deciding factor, I think, between whether Ashley and I have fun playing together. Like if either of those things hit, then it's a win and I'm going to play it. Otherwise I'll probably just play it on your profile a couple of times and then go.
And also probably Trev brought up
community nights.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on how many people buy it. Because if people buy it, I'm down.
That's a really good point. Yeah. That's it. The only thing with the community nights that's tricky is then, that does mean that like everybody would have to have that game. Cause that was
exactly. But that's what I'm saying. That it hinges on that. It hinges on how many people buy the game, because if people buy the game, even if they're not actively playing it, it's like, it can be cool for a change of pace if people are tired of playing whatever, because we're still not sure about how many people for Switch Sports, for Switch Sports, people have it, right?
Yeah.
Smash Brothers is easy. We know people have Smash Brothers. We know people have Mario Kart, but we don't know people yet have Switch Sports and have Strikers.
We need to do a thing on Patreon or something, like have a tally or something, like what games, we just have a list of like a bunch of games. Which of these? I
mean, we should probably do it on Discord, because it's also a thing of like, what I've noticed is on streams, whenever we bring it up, or I bring it up, that it's like, oh, this is an added perk that you could get if you're already a supporter, like through Twitch Prime or whatever, and you give the extra $4 or whatever. And people are usually like, oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll do the $4 for, so like, give the broad supporter base of like, hey, these are the games that are like, that we will be like, that we could play if you want to play them during supporters, but during community nights, but we would have to know that you have it. And I think that would be more useful than just on Patreon.
Yep. Indeed. And speaking of playing games, you and I do that sometimes.
It's true.
Sometimes even together. Like
that's
today.
true.
That's true.
We
fun.
did play Smash today. We did it for the can we even say?
Yeah, I think so. Some of it, maybe not the like specifics of it, but the grander concept for sure.
That we did it to help
our friend Xeon.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, he mentioned even on Twitter today, he was like, it's great when people work together on projects or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But yeah, he needed some footage, and playing Smash was part of that. And so I was like, yeah, man, we can do that. And so we did it. We played Smash, and it went well. It was fun. I wasn't particularly familiar with a lot of the characters I was playing as, but one of them went okay, so that was fun.
It's true. Parker secret duck hunt main.
Yeah, apparently.
Whoever would have thought? Me, my Lucas and my Ness go crazy. Who would have thought? I hate them.
Yeah, it's fun. No, I think of the characters I played, like Duck Hunt was the only one that I won with, but I think Diddy Kong was probably the one that felt most natural to play as.
Yeah, I think Diddy Kong is, Diddy Kong is very good. He's a very good character. Yes. Duck Hunt is not.
I can imagine.
Yeah, Duck Hunt is very bad, mostly because his recovery sucks. But he did win a big tournament not too long ago.
Nice. Which, I mean, that always means something more than like, because I remember when you and Pete were talking about Pokemon in Pokemon tournaments and like, but there's the Pachirisu that one time that won, whatever, which like that always means a little bit less than, in Smash, a character, it's like, it's just that character. Like they can't bounce off of anything else or whatever. Whereas with Pokemon, there's some Pokemon that are really good support Pokemon.
Super good meta team.
Yes.
To be able to use this fringe Pokemon.
Yeah.
To some degree, there's still a little bit of luck and gimmick with Smash in that regard with a character like Duck Hunt, because it's like there's this thing that is bound to happen when you're playing a bad character that is not used by a lot of people. People don't know how to fight a good person that is using that character.
Yeah.
So they don't know, because every character in the game to some degree is viable because they have something that is good about them. Like Dr. Mario sucks at the game, but his kill power is ridiculous. Isabelle is terrible, but her fishing rod goes crazy. The players that are good at spacing their good options can still win even if the character is bad, unless the person that is also good knows what good option is your good option and how to play around that specific thing. That is really the counterplay to that. I suspect that with the Duck Hunt player, most people did not play around his good option. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, because he's currently like first or second place in the Smash World Tour's leaderboard right now. So
with Duck Hunt specifically?
Yeah, with Duck Hunt. Because it's a circuit. So like every tournament is weighted with a certain amount of points. And this tournament happened in, I think it was like, no, where was this tournament? It was like in Qatar or Brazil. One of those two, because that's two of the tournaments that were like more fringe places that don't have like well-known communities for Smash.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But as it was a platinum star or a platinum level event because they wanted to, have a lot of entrants for this tournament. They're trying to support all the places across the board.
Yeah.
So he got a lot of points off of that because he was the best player in a small region for the most part. And also it's to encourage international talent that are from bigger regions to travel to this tournament to try to farm for the points.
Right.
But it's COVIDing. So people aren't going to be able to do that as easily as you would think.
Yeah.
Duck Hunt is terrible, but people can still be good with him. That said, we played Smash. It was fun at times. What else? I played Pokemon. Max reads. So what I want to do is I'm trying to have like a rotating set of games on stream every week since I do a 3-stream week for the most part. So for Monday, what I want to do is, which I don't know, I might switch the days around because I think Lee wants to play the Raid Adventures. We talked about that. So I might have to switch to do Pokemon on Monday. But right now, the current schedule is I do Switch Sports on Mondays, Smash on Tuesdays with Lee, and then Wednesday, Pokemon Max Rated Adventures with everybody.
Nice. That sounds fun.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you get any shinies?
No, I didn't. But Alec, I think, got 2. I think Alec got 2 shinies, which is cursed. But it's also cool because, like, at least somebody did. But like, come on, man. You know what though? It's Trev's fault. Trev ruined the shiny economy.
Yeah.
Because he farmed Arceus for all his shinies. So now there's no more. They don't have any more shiny powder to give to Pokemon, dude. It's all his fault.
Man.
They ran out. They ran out.
You can get a shiny Arceus as well, right?
I mean, you can farm for it in Diamond and Pearl, but I'm not doing that.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I'm not trying to turn on freaking Diamond and Pearl. Are you crazy?
Yeah, that sounds awful. I've been playing more Torna, and that's been fun. It's just kind of, standard. It's the kind of game that it is. Nothing else much to say there, but yeah, I've been enjoying it. It's fun because it goes back to some of the same locations as Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I think, honestly, good way to be able to make new content by just reusing locations and having it be in a different point in time. And like, that game is a little bit about exploring, but not like in the grand sense, or like it's not in the same way. It's not Breath of the Wild. Yeah, it's it's nice to have these big areas and like finding locations in them, and then all the things that happen within those and story beats and all that stuff. So yeah, so it's like the game's, I think, 500 years prior to the to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Tis. So you go to like a town that you used to go to, that's like a big town in the base game, but then in the DLC is like this little old town because it's so long ago. But yeah, so it's been fun. And then also last night started Bug Snacks, and it's it's interesting. I don't know how. I'll play it a little bit more and see what it's like. But for anybody who like just doesn't know the gameplay loop, because I don't think I really did, Bug Snacks are little creatures that are on this island thing, and it feels a little bit Pokemon Snap-ish in that you kind of have to sometimes set up a chain of events to be able to make the bug snack do what you need it to do so that you can catch them, and you catch them in like a trap or something like that, or a net. But you need to like, get it into this spot and then make this other thing run into it to do this. And then from there you can catch it. And I'm sure it gets more complicated than that as it goes. But that's pretty neat. And the premise of it is just like, you have to go and recruit some people to come back to this town for story reasons that I guess I won't spoil, even though it's only like 20 minutes into the game or so. But yeah, seems fun. I'll play a little bit more and kind of see how it goes, but mostly we got it because Ashley wanted it anyway. But I don't think she cares about. I don't think she cares about playing it at all. She just cares about experiencing it. So I'll probably most of the time that I play, like even last night, it was that she was like, "Hey, can we just like cuddle and you play Bug Snacks?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So we did that.
It works.
Yeah. There we go. I think that's all the games I'm playing, honestly. I mean, otherwise, some more Mario Kart. We play Mario Kart still pretty often, and it's fun. I mean, I've said this before, but it's
when is the next
fun.
DLC supposed to come out for that?
I mean, they haven't said, but I'd guess just like basically every direct. So June-ish. If the first one came out in March, makes sense that it'd be June, September, December, and then something like that. Because there's 6 total, I think. 3 or. We do have fun playing it though, where like I play as Ashley's wingman and have to like kind of hang back a little bit and try to get items to like, make sure she can get first, which if we're playing 150cc is not always going to happen, but is so that's a fun way to play because you're
not always winning. You can still play and like actually try to play.
Yep. The goal is just a little different than normal.
Yeah.
The goal is
It's like how I
like
play
at some
random
points,
when I play Smash with people
yeah,
that are not good at the
exactly.
video game.
Like I'll get a double item and it's, you know, triple mushrooms and mushroom or something like that. And I'm like, ah, man. Whereas like normally that's great because now I can use that for so many good things. But in this case, like that sucks because I can't like really do anything to help Ashley just with mushrooms. But
Yep.
So it's fun times.
True.
Oh, speaking of Mario Kart, they I think so Coconut Mall is coming to Mario Kart Tour or has come to Mario Kart Tour at this point. I'm not sure which, but I just noticed that when I was looking for articles. And so that does confirm basically that everything that we're getting in the DLC is probably just stuff that already is in Tour or is going to be
or
in
will
Tour or
be.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
just fine. Whatever.
People are mad because the cars at the end of that one that normally move back,
they move.
They do move. Yeah.
And Tour.
So, in Tour. Yep. And so they're like,
fun.
why doesn't it move in this game? And like, honestly, I don't
That's hilarious.
That
I don't care at all. But people get mad about dumb stuff, man.
I mean, I notice it, but like that's, you know, I just don't care.
Don't care. Yeah. Whatever.
But you know what we do care about? Comments and you guys and talking to you guys. So let's get into Q&A. All right. Oh, things.
Fire truck.
Oh no. All right. Maybe it's a kitten on a tree. From Discord.
It's raining outside.
Oh, interesting.
How is the fire even firing? No, I know.
Indoor fire? I don't know.
I mean, it could still be outdoor fire. Fires are hot, man.
Fires are quite
not raining that much.
All right, Discord questions. Flyski asks, do you guys think Nintendo will ever support esports? Oh, speaking of which, have you been playing more Switch Sports, I guess?
Yes. Oh yeah, true. I didn't even talk about that. Switch Sports, man. I'm pro in soccer. It's lit. It's lit. I got into elite soccer. Nice. And farming these kids. Soccer is still the best game. Volleyball is, see, the thing about, I feel like, so in my head, soccer occupies the place that Smash does, and volleyball is Mario Kart, where it's like volleyball is good because it's you know, it has similar level, not similar, it has depth to it like soccer does, but it is way more approachable. So I think that like for most people, soccer, I mean volleyball is a better game. But soccer is a better game because it has more depth. So there's more that you can get out of it if you play it for a long time, which I think is good, whether you're good at it or not, you know. If you like it, like if you like soccer for any reason, you have a reason to play it for a long time because you can get better at it. If you don't, but you like depth, you have depth to explore, you know, and that's where I'm at. So I've been playing that. Also bowling, because bowling is, again, like the Mario Kart sort of thing, where it's like most people can just play that. Also, it's because Switch Sports is dumb, and if you have a full lobby, you can only play bowling or soccer, which is stupid. I played a little bit with Wood on his stream. We played bowling for the most part and soccer one time, and I feel like the people that were on my team threw. Not fair. I feel like they definitely were like, I want Wood to win. So that
definitely teamwork in that. I mean, I hear it's, you know, kind of like Rocket League in some regards, and I know I've played before where it's just like people on the other team or people on my team, you know, either one has good teamwork, and then the other team just.
It is all about positioning. It's all about positioning. And that's what, like, I think that is the thing that decides whether you think the game is good or not, whether you understand that or not. Because if everybody is in the same place, you're going to lose, period. You know, like if everybody's playing defense, nobody's scoring. If everybody's playing offense, nobody's defending the goal. You know, spread around. And that was the problem, is like, people were just freaking all over each other, and I was like, dude. But yeah, I'm playing that. I'm kind of disappointed in Chumbara though, because I thought that was going to be my favorite game, but Chumbara is like, it still feels too simple. It's still just rock paper scissors, and that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
But really the only game that I haven't played more of like at all is badminton. That's literally the only other game that I have not touched since the last time we talked about this. Because it's just freaking like volleyball / tennis, like it's the same game, but less depth than volleyball. And I feel like less than tennis, but I don't completely understand like what the like, because there is like another layer to badminton than just swing. But I feel like it's less interesting. Even
it is interesting. I feel like Alex over at Nintendo Life, when he's talked about badminton, that's like one of his more favorite ones. So I'd be curious what it is that, again, I haven't played that one at all, I don't think. So, I mean,
I think also Chewy said that Chewy likes badminton too. Yeah. So there was that, but I don't.
Badminton's also definitely more popular in Europe in general. Like growing up, it was just like, badminton was just like a thing that a lot of people just had, like a badminton.
I've played badminton. I played tennis once.
Yeah.
Like, but I played badminton more.
Yep. I definitely have too.
So
I think it's definitely more approachable as a game in real life for sure. Just because it's not like, balls not flying.
But I think that's what makes it boring in the video game for me. So yeah, I don't really like badminton, but Switch Sports is still fun. I think it will be even more fun once we do community games with it. That'd be sick.
Indeed. We'll have to figure out what the next community game is going to be. So that
what day? Yeah. The day.
Yeah. Well, once we figure that out, then because I haven't bought this game yet, but if that's going to be the next game, then I got to go ahead and buy it. So
it's true. I mean, we could do a poll whenever.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. But so speaking of Switch Sports, do you think Nintendo will ever support esports?
That doesn't have anything to do with Switch Sports. That would be funny though. Me and Trevor talking about we're going to be phased for volleyball. It's going to be and Kate too. Kate's going to be on the team. It's going to be lit. Nice. And I guess Eric. I don't know if Eric said that he's going to be on the team or not. Yeah, we're cracked. Volleyball is like the thing that made volleyball click in my head is that it's just ledge trapping in Smash Brothers, dude. It's literally just that. It's like because it's mostly defense. Like that is what's going to win you the game in volleyball. And like the concept of ledge trapping at Smash Brothers, so much of it is shadowing. It's like, okay, I'm gonna like stay right where you're at all times and watch what you do so that I can mix what you do at the last second. It's like I'm going to zig when you zig until I don't and you die for it. And that's what volleyball feels like, where it's like, all right, I see your spike timings are this, so my block timings will be this until they're not, and then you get freaking yeeted for it.
And so, obviously that means Nintendo's going to support that as an esport next. I don't know what you were talking about.
But I don't know. I think my thoughts on Nintendo and esports is completely pending what they do with Panda and how that turns out for Smash. Because if that turns out well for them, and top Smash players aren't cursed and make Nintendo want to pull out, I think that it could be a big thing for them, right? Because like as long as it turns out well, it will be in the favor of top players because Panda I know is like like at bat for them, and they're going to push for prize pools. We know that there's going to be a prize pool. They're going to push for competitive rules and like all that stuff is going to be figured out. So as long as that has benefits for Nintendo in the end, then they have reason to do more things like that for longer, because right now they just see esports for what it is in the grand scheme of things, which is an ad, and they want to advertise their game in a specific way because they want the game to be approachable to people. But what they don't understand is that it can still be approachable, but be advertised as like what it is at the top level of what it is, right? Because not everybody that watches Smash esports sees that and it's like, I want to literally do that, some people are still casuals, and I would argue most that watch Smash esports are still casuals, but they respect the fact that somebody is able to play the game at that level, right? Like it was like, I'm still going to play with all freaking bombs or whatever, but it's sick that MK Leo can use the character that I use, and it's crazy, like that sort of thing. So I think that it will take Nintendo being able to be shown that for them to turn around and be like, okay, cool, we can still sell the game to a broad audience without it having to like actually be visually played like the broad audience is going to play the game.
I mean, I feel like on Pokemon supporting Pokemon stuff, VGC is probably the best example of that, where like they do it, but that doesn't preclude anybody from joining, from coming on board and playing the games at all. And then some of those people will filter up to playing competitive Pokemon, and other people just won't. And that's fine, Yeah,
because I mean, it's like real sports in the sense that like most people that watch real sports are not then like, oh yeah, I can do that. Right, a lot of it is, man, I cannot do that. And it is interesting because I cannot and they can, I think that once Nintendo realizes that, they'll be all in, but it's pending it turning out well for them in the sense that like there's no controversy, like it doesn't scare them away in that realm. But
yeah, definitely. Dirt Marcos asked, what anime or show would you want an open world game of? I mean, easy answer.
Avatar.
Pokemon, right?
Avatar. I mean, yeah, but obviously we already have.
Yeah, right.
Just not like Avatar. Yeah. Free. The Last Airbender / Legend of Korra, that world.
Yep.
That'd be sick.
I mean, that was I haven't even watched that much of it. I think I watched like a season and a half. And I mean, easily agree with that. I think the question for this too, because like it could be easy to say, I don't know, like I like My Hero Academia, for example, but the world isn't particularly interesting that we know of, at least of My Hero Academia.
I mean, I'd say that the world is interesting, but I don't think it's
the world, but not like the environment world, like
in
like the literal sense of like,
you mean like itself, where the plot takes place. It's like you'll be playing most of the game in the school,
some city, like some school, like that kind of thing. So that's just it is what it is. It's just like Japan or something like that,
right?
And not to say it has to be, but an Avatar, for example, is a game that is a show that, from what I've seen at least, seems to do way better of that, of the like it feels more like going on an adventure throughout the world itself. The world
is fun. A world. Like they literally travel their world.
And also like,
and I feel like obviously there are games for both of these things, but this question is more so I'm taking it as like what anime / show or whatever would I like be able to make like the best game from, like in the same set, like an Avatar game would have to be on the same level of like what I think of like the Pokemon game that I would make would be. Because Avatar's world is that vast and they couldn't do that much with it. I think that would be sick.
Yep. I mean, I think like similarly, which worlds could you interact with in a fun way, or like thinking back to, again, My Hero Academia, which I love the show. It's really fun, but the like traversal aspect of it would be a little bit like, if you're playing as multiple characters, then you could just like fly really fast somewhere else, and that kind of like breaks the things. So like having a thing like Aang can sort of fly a little bit sometimes, or more other times, I guess. I don't really know, but generally seems like traversal wouldn't be a thing that would be like Dragon Ball, where it's just like you can just fly up and then go somewhere else. So similarly,
I'd also say like for these games, it'd be harder with My Hero.
Yeah.
But like I think that the best case scenario for these games is that you're not Aang.
Yeah.
Like you can be the Avatar or whatever, right? But like that's like rolling the dice. Like it could be like a freaking like a sports game where there's franchises and stuff like that, and you get 20 friends together or whatever, right? And the game randomly decides like, oh, you're the Avatar and you're the Fire Nation and blah, like that sort of thing. I think that would be like the peak of what that game is. And similarly for My Hero, but My Hero would be harder to like figure out like what you're able to do,
right.
like what your powers are, because it would still have to be based on something. Whereas like Avatar, it's simpler, so it's easier to make it broad.
Right.
Like Firebender is a defined thing, whereas like My Hero, there can be any number of powers. And that's harder to do in a good way that is like fleshed out.
Yeah.
And custom.
Because Exactly. There's too many variables to be able to make any of the variables be super interesting to work with each other. I feel also Full Metal Alchemist would be interesting too. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know enough about that to say one way or the other. So, I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. I've watched, I think, half of Brotherhood. I need to finish it, but it's really interesting and really good. But I feel like similarly, it's an interesting world and like lore and stuff like that could be fun. Trev asked, why is volleyball on Switch Sports so sweaty already? It's absurd and I need answers.
That's a fact. I feel like Switch Sports in general became like super sweaty very fast, which is weird. Like, and I mean sweaty to the point of like not necessarily toxic, but like gross. You know, like I don't see anybody being like teabagging, like that sort of thing. But like making the experience worse because they're like lag switching, you know, like that sort of stuff.
Oh, that's no fun. Like
they're not being like
to like
jerks,
DDD,
but yeah, like, but like people being like literally lag switching. Like, oh, I gotta defend or I'm spiking, so I'm gonna make the connection suck so that you can't defend against it as reliably. Man, like that sort of stuff. It's very nasty.
That does not feel like the kind of game where
you would do that. Yeah, like who's like I was joking about the freaking like pro, which it does have a ranking system, but like, do you honestly really care about that? Like, come on, dude. Like, what flowers are you honestly getting for being an A-ranked Chambara player? Like, nobody cares.
So weird. Yeah, that's crazy. Sardi asked, how did Nintendo license Rocket League for Wii Sports Deluxe Switch Edition, do you think?
Hold on. I was reading the RP said people would be spamming the ooh emotes, the cough Bob Wolf. I don't think that like people can try to do that in like a mean-spirited way, but it would be hard to like for that to be like inherently like something that feels bad, you know? Because like everybody's spamming emotes.
Yeah.
And they're not like emotes that look like they're like incendiary. So it's like hard to take it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Until everybody is like that on there and you just
it would have to be everybody it would have to be everybody's like that, but nobody's like that unknowingly, you know? Like right now it doesn't feel like that because everybody spams their emotes at all times, no matter what. It would have to only be people that are trying to be crappy spamming their emotes and nobody else does it, which I don't think is going to happen.
Yep. Agreed.
Or it would have to be a super rare emote that not a lot of people have, that people that are toxic somehow only have, and they spam that, you know,
right?
Like that
that's what you're saying. Which I mean, that could be something eventually, I guess, right? Because like there's things like come in waves or whatever that unlockables.
It could be a thing that they do that's skill based or whatever. It's like win this many games in a row, you unlock this or whatever. But we'll see, I guess.
Yeah. But yes,
gatekeeping Switch Sports emos. Let's go. Oh, dead. But that I think that would be the only way that the game will be toxic in that sort of way, in the like Call of Duty kind of way.
Yeah.
But right now it's toxic in the like the game is broken because people are taking advantage of poor connection sort of way.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
Mark asks, with the eternal assurance of Mario sports games being made until the end of time, which other Nintendo franchise would you like to see?
Oh wait, did we do Sardi's question?
I said it, but it was while Sardi. So wait your turn, Mark. Coming back. Sardi said, how did Nintendo license Rocket League Lite for Wii Sports Deluxe Switch Edition, do you think?
They did do that. They told them that they would give them $5 and eShop credit. And Psyonix was like, oh shoot, that's all I ever wanted. And they
can buy Box Boy without a Box Girl with that.
It's true. You can buy half a Box Boy, Box Girl game.
Yes. That's all they've ever wanted, honestly.
It's true. They have that on 3DS.
That's true.
Turns out. I don't know if it's $5 though.
I don't know.
That'd be funny if it was.
I'm looking it up right now. Box Boy 3DS. For some reason, this page is in French.
Well, you know how to speak that.
I do. It's true. $5 exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
$4.99, but
it's still $5.
it's $5.
That's hilarious.
What a time.
It'd be funny if that was intentional, but I doubt it.
Yeah, right. We added a whole character. You got to double the price.
True.
There is a part of me that like wants to, I can't remember when the deadlines are for various 3DS things, but there's a part of me that wants to go through and just buy some stuff on the 3DS before it all disappears.
I wanted to do that on Wii U, but I already have the game that I wanted to play on Wii U, I think.
Nice.
And when I knew for sure it was Pikmin, but that's here. It's on Switch, so I don't gotta do it.
That's true. So back to Mark's question. Yeah, with the which Nintendo franchise would you like to see get a sports spinoff, and what sport?
I mean, a new one. I want baseball to be in the game. I think that.
So I think it's not. Oh, okay, but yeah. Sorry.
Oh, so Mario
different franchise, not a Mario sports franchise, but like a Zelda sports game, and it's Zelda cricket or something like
Pokemon.
That. Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
I want Pokemon football, like American football, not the cringe version. I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
they could do cool stuff with that. What would you do?
It's tough because here, let me pull this back up real quick. Just look at some stuff. A bunch of them, like Donkey Kong stuff, is kind of included just in Mario things at this point. So I would say Donkey Kong baseball, would be fun or something along those lines. But again, that's sort of already included in the other things. So
true.
Some more of that. I feel like cricket would be fun, not because I would want that game, but just it would be hilarious for it to be cricket. I'm sticking with my original thing. Yeah. Ooh, Fire Emblem cricket. There it is.
Yeah. All right. Like the thing is, like that game would have to be phenomenal. Like, it would have to be like the best game that makes cricket like super entertaining and interesting. Yep. Because like the deck is stacked against it for sure.
Absolutely.
Like Fire Emblem inherently is not that big of a thing. It's already like in terms of sales, like a B level Nintendo franchise. On top of the fact that cricket is like a F tier sport. For that reason,
said it would pop off in India.
True. And that would mean it would sell 200,000 copies maximum.
Are there cricket video games? I mean,
probably.
I would imagine so.
Probably.
Zelda Polo. They get horses. That's
horses. True. They do have horses.
Yeah, Cricket 22. Who's it made by? Big Ant Studios. Oh, it's on Nintendo Switch too.
I think that's all we need to know that game did not sell well, because it is on the platform that this channel is dedicated to, and we didn't know it existed. So there's that.
The publishers are Nacon, whatever that is, and Big Ben Interactive.
Big Ben made the game.
Yeah, it's the Clock Tower.
That's crazy. This man, you don't know Big Ben, no London?
Oh, well, yeah.
He made that game. That's crazy.
It's true.
I didn't know he made video games.
There you go. Now we know. Fire Emblem Cricket. It's gonna pop off, y'all. Mega Man, speaking of which, asks, what would your best ice cream sundae, or what would be your best ice cream sundae? Top it with whatever you want and whatever flavor ice cream you want.
I mean, I like vanilla ice cream, so it would be vanilla ice cream and freaking, like Oreo cookies and like Reese's and like maybe Snickers in there too. What else? I want like not regular Oreos. I want the golden Oreos. Golden Oreos are better than regular Oreos. Regular Oreos are trash, low key. I mean, they're still Oreos, so they're fine, but like I feel like golden Oreos are good whether you have the cream or not, and regular Oreos are not. IMO. Like they're fine, but I'm not eating just the Oreo, I'll eat just the Oreo without the cream for the golden Oreo. What else? I don't know if I would put anything else in it. That sounds fine to me. I'm not huge on sweets in the first place. So
yeah,
that's enough.
I think for mine, I could go one of two ways. So either the base is mint chocolate chip, so which none of these are my favorite ice cream flavor by themselves, but if we're gonna put a bunch
combined with the other things,
it's gotta like go well with the other things. So like mint, I mean, so vanilla is totally fine as well. Like that's great, but mint chocolate chip, and then it doesn't have that much stuff with it. Like it would probably be kind of boring, where it's just like, you know, some more chocolate chips, I guess, and like brownie or something like that. Like
yo, brownie too. I also went brownie in mind.
So because you can't add that much stuff with mint, it starts clashing, and that's just what it is. On the flip side, do vanilla, and oh man, you could eat. I'm a big fan of vanilla with like raspberry syrup and crunchies of some variety, like little brownie bits and like chocolate chip things, piece of Heath bar, Oreo, like that kind of variety of things.
Yep.
Those are both great.
Yo, put freaking like Crunch Bunch in there. Crunch Bunch is good.
Yep. Tasty times.
Good
question, Mega Man. Thanks for making me hungry.
Hashtag Angry Foods.
Yeah. RP asked, do you think that if Switch ports released during the start of the pandemic, would it do you believe it would have been the best Switch game along with Animal Crossing?
Absolutely not. No shot. No shot. In this current form, no, absolutely not. But like if it like released in whatever post DLC world, maybe. But I don't think that this game is versatile enough to do that. You know.
I mean, I guess point being though that like Ring Fit saw huge upswing in sales and stuff through COVID and all that. So like, I guess there's more of a point there.
It would sell more for sure, but it would not be on the level of Animal Crossing.
I mean, even Ring Fit, which is the one that's selling more, isn't on the level of Animal Crossing.
Right. But I mean, like, I don't even think it would be on the level of Ring Fit.
Right.
Because Ring Fit was doing pretty good even before the pandemic. Like that was already a game that people couldn't find. That's why I don't have it in the first place. Because I like kind of wanted it, and then it was hard. Like it was hard to find. And I was like, I don't care, you know, because that's usually what I do. Like my flight in this scenario is definitely flight. It's like, oh, it's hard to obtain this thing. I don't care about it. You
know, that's funny. So, good question. Alec asked, if you could bring back any Nintendo console / game gimmick, what would it be? Personally, I kind of miss dual screens.
I was going to say the same thing, but like gamepad, like that use, not like 3DS, DS use. Because that, like the gamepad, I feel like gamified the additional screen, whereas like the 3DS kind of just used it for information. And I'm like, whatever. I don't really need another screen for more information. But if it like makes the game experience feel more like this arcadey, like attraction sort of thing, I think that's more worth. Gamepad for me.
Yep. And I think with
the like Mario, I mean not Mario, in the like Star Fox Zero sort of way.
Yeah. Because like you can have games that just don't use the gamepad at all, and then it's not like something where like on the Wii with motion controls, sometimes they'd be like, well, you can make a game, but it's got to be motion controls. And then it's like, oh, fine, you know. So like that just doesn't always gel. But with the gamepad, you can have the option of sometimes doing it and sometimes not doing it.
Right.
I'd be down with, second screen.
Although I do feel like, honestly, I think the second screen thing, if the stipulation was like, you have to make a second screen experience and it has to be good, I think every game will be made better for it. I honestly do believe that. Whereas motion, I don't think is inherently better for every game. I think that the second screen thing can only add to the immersion of every type of game. But it would take the developer figuring out what that version of that is in their game specifically.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm even fine with the information on the second screen kind of thing, as long as it's not something that's like...
The information on the second screen can work depending on what the game is, right?
Yeah,
like I think that information on the screen is the answer for like Mario Kart, you know?
Yeah, especially like having the little map or something like that, you know, those kinds of things is nice. There's been times even with some games here or there where I'm like, man, it would just be nice to have those things down there. Like instead of opening up a menu, your menu items are just right
or
there.
Pulling up a freaking spreadsheet.
Yeah. Honestly, okay, here's the thing. Every game, if it doesn't have a specific thing that you're using the gamepad for. It's just some kind of like notebook sort of a something, where you can just jot down information of some variety. Like that feels like that would be helpful. I don't know. That's it.
Yep. I agree.
Agreed.
Gamepad.
Yeah. Because honestly, as far as like other gimmicks, I don't know. There's not that many other ones that have left at this point. Like other ones were created as gimmicks, like the joystick and the various other things like that. Yeah, right, exactly. But they're all pretty much here. Including motion, it's pretty much just the dual.
True. All the like useful gimmicks are here still.
Yeah.
Except for, I think, in my opinion, second screen.
Yeah.
The camera's not here.
That's true. Good point.
And microphone, but
because of Nintendo. I mean, because of Pokemon and
Chat dude. Chat ruined it all.
It's true. Sorry to ask. Thoughts on Clippy appearing in Halo Battle Pass?
Is that a thing?
I didn't even know.
And in what context?
I'm curious. For sure.
I didn't know that was a thing. Is this like another one of those things that's like developers left in the mouse or whatever? Is that like people being mad at that? Or
it's Halo Infinite Season 2 adds Clippy from MS Office as unlockable reward.
But that's hilarious. But how? Where? What is he? Is he like?
Oh, it's something like that. It's an emblem. It's you can.
That's not as cool.
Yeah, you can put it on your gun or something.
It's fine. That's fine. It would have been funny if it was like an emote or something, like freaking Clippy appears like a Navi sort of thing. That would have been hilarious. But great. It just being like a emblem is mid.
Yeah.
Take them out.
And last but not least, question from Twitter. For what is it? Thank you for all your questions, by the way, everybody, because I didn't post that until like
very close
witching hour, because we thought we were going to put up the video I thought we were going to put up the video today. So I didn't post the questions.
But I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to, like, that's what I'm still debating, maybe putting the video out on Sunday, if not Monday, because I want like our messaging to be clear of like this day is for this, like I don't want to have all these things and the podcast and also the videos up. But either way, this is an easy Patreon plug. If you're an $8 supporter on Patreon, or $8 across the board, across all of our things that you can contribute money to, you can watch the video early. But everybody else, it'll probably go up Monday. I think Monday is the cleanest day to do the video, but
makes sense.
Potentially Sunday. Sunday is a possibility.
Nice. And last but not least, question from Twitter. Chris the Butte asks, I'm going to see Doctor Strange tonight. How does he rate in your top 10 Marvel hero lineup?
Top 10? I don't know if Doctor Strange is in my top 10.
I think he is in mine.
Let me think. My top 10. So this is MCU specifically.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. MCU number 1, probably Spider-Man. Number 2, Black Panther. Number 3, Iron Man. Number 4, I mean, I want to say Thor, but only Ragnarok Thor, so that's why it's like,
I think that counts. I mean, at this point, it's Ragnarok going forward. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like they're ever going back to, Dark World Thor or anything like that. So,
okay. Number 5, Wanda. Number 6. Number 6 hard. Everybody after number 6 is hard because I feel like they all occupy the same place in my mind. Like I don't like Doctor Strange is fine, but I don't really care about Doctor Strange that much. But I care about him more than I care about like Clint.
Yeah.
But like honestly, I feel like I care about Moon Knight more than I care about Doctor Strange. So like I don't know, maybe number 6 is Moon Knight.
Yeah.
7, Loki. 8, 9, and 10 don't matter. We're out of here with the rest of those.
Perfect. That works.
It would take too
Yeah,
long for me to think about that.
I think for me, Doctor Strange is, I don't necessarily care about him more than certain others as a character.
Mhm.
Like I think he's an interesting character and I think he's a useful character in the grand scheme of things, but like I'm not like particularly drawn to him as Stephen Strange, Doctor Strange, whatever, but I like what he can bring to the table in
Like
terms
his
of like,
role.
yeah, right. And like
Oh.
the powers and stuff and like what that means for the movie I'm about to watch, if Doctor Strange is in that movie, is
Right.
interesting. As opposed to, even if I loved Clint as just the character and the person, whatever, to me, that doesn't translate to therefore loving what it's going to mean for that movie and
Right.
the experience of watching that, you know? So I think that's a lot of what it is like the characters that I like the most end up being the ones, or that I do really like.
I don't know.
I mean, that's
because it's like I think that Multiverse of Madness is going to be a good movie, and I think that it's
Mhm.
going to add to the universe as a whole,
Yep.
right? But I don't know if that's going to be like anything like in the way that like I came into Loki, right? Not really caring that much about Loki, and I came out of it caring more about Loki as a character. I don't
totally
know if that's going to happen with Doctor Strange. Like
Yeah,
I think that Doctor Strange, like Multiverse of Madness, is going to contribute more to the world because it's going to open up the multiverse and all that crap. But I don't think that that's going to make me care about Doctor Strange as a character.
I think honestly, yeah, it's because Doctor Strange the movie is probably definitely in top 10 MCU movies, and like
I think that's another reason why I don't think he's in my top 10 MCU movies. Because in my top 10, because I don't think it's in my top 10 MCU.
Right.
Yeah. We should do that on the Patreon podcast.
That's true. We
should rank our MCU movies on the Patreon podcast.
Because like, yeah, that's the thing is like, I don't, but even though Doctor Strange as a movie is in my top 10, you know, that doesn't necessarily translate directly to the character himself. Like, I think it's just like, I just like what happens in that movie. And there's other ones where that's not the case. Where like I really, really like Shang-Chi, the movie and the character. Like, and you know, there's third act issues and stuff like that in lots of Marvel movies, and that one's probably no exception in some regards, but still, like I just liked both of those things. So yeah, I don't know. That doesn't even directly answer the question. I guess probably Doctor Strange isn't in my top 10
he's
characters. He might be, but he's just
somewhere in the top 20 for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
He's like a solid 14 for me, probably.
Checks out.
But yeah, no. I mean, I'm excited for the movie though.
Yeah.
I think the movie
for sure.
Be top 10.
Yeah.
Which I think we should do that. I think we definitely need we'll talk about this more when we're like thinking about when to do that, which we got to figure that out. But I don't think that would be the main topic, but it definitely should be a top, because we do the Marvel thing. That should be the Marvel thing, because we got to talk about Moon Knight, obviously, but Moon Knight, it's just the last episode.
Right.
So
we talked about all of it up until then.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So. That's the show, everybody.
There it is.
You can get more show and more things if you support on platforms and whatnot, or just subscribe to youtube.com/watch redirect. We're gonna have a new video up sometime within the next 7 days, probably Monday. I don't know, when's your video, or like, I mean,
it's going all right. Script is mostly done or something like that. And then I've got to just finish some other bits. And
so stuff. Your video will probably be the week after either way.
Probably so. Yeah.
So there we go.
Or, I was planning on getting it done for this week, based on.
For this week. Well, if that's the case, it should probably
end of this week.
It could just be next week.
Okay.
We just put it on next week, because I think that's another thing that makes it.
Or sorry, you know what I'm trying to say. Like,
yeah. So the week after my video goes up, which is probably going to be on Monday, is when my video most likely will go up. So your video should go up on Monday or after Monday or whatever.
Sounds good.
And then then we'll do it that way. There it is. That's the tentative, non-scheduled schedule.
Yep. And my topic was specifically picked by the 8-Bit members. So
it's true. If you want to have an impact on that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Be a member. But thanks for listening either way. Like, comment, subscribe on whatever platform you listen to the podcast on. Goodbye.
Bye.